Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for your kind association. We are going to continue our study of Bhakti Vaibhava. We are going to start Canto 1, Chapter 13, 1-3. Chapter 13 we are going to start. But let's chant our Mangalacharan prayers first. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadādhara Śrīvāsadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Shri Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama. Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath. Eche Gosai Jabe Braje Koilovas Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash Tadera Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanevas Janame Janame Moe Ei Abhilash. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Uddama Bhava Pishuna Malaval Guhasa Vredavaloka Madanopi Yasam Sammuya Chapamajahat Pramodottamasta Yasyendriyam Vimathitum Kuhakairna Shekuhu. Bhavadvidha Bhagavata Stirtha Bhuta Swayam Vibho Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani Swantastena Gadavrita Tulayamalavenapi na Swargam na Punarbhavam Bhagavat Sangi Sangasya Martyanam Kimutashisha Tiraskrita Vipralabdha Shapta Shipta Hata Api Nasyatat Pratikurvanti Tad Bhakta Prabhavupihi Punascha Bhuyad Bhagavadanante Rati Prasangascha Tadashrayeshu Mahatsu Yam Yam Upayam Shrishtim Maitrastu Sarvatra Namo Dvijebhyaha. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. We are starting chapter number 13 of the first canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Granthra Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. So in the previous chapter, we discussed, dear devotees, how Yudhishthir Maharaj invited the learned sadhus and performed the Jata Karma Samskar and the astrological chart reading for his grandson Maharaj Parikshit. How all the Brahmanas prayed for and blessed Maharaj Parikshit, and his entire life was accurately predicted. The samskara was done, and then they accepted Dakshina and went home. Lord Krishna stayed there. 3 Ashwamedh Yajnas were performed by Maharaj Yudhishthir for the welfare of the world. Lord Krishna personally supervised, and then Lord Krishna, along with Arjun, Satyaki, and others, also went to Dwarka. Let's see what happens after that in Hastinapur. So we are in Hastinapur. Chapter 13 is entitled Dhritarashtra Quits Home. Suta Uvacha Vidurastirtha Yatraya Maitreyadatmano Gatim Nyatva Gad Hastinapuram Taya Vapta Vivitsitaha. Translations and purports by our beloved founder Acharya Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramhams Parivrajaka Shtottar Shata Shri Śrīmad Abhay Charana Arvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ji ki Jai. So Sudha Goswami is saying to Shaunakadi Rishis, while traveling on a pilgrimage, Shri Vidurji received knowledge of the destination of the self from the great sage Shri Maitreya Muni, and then returned to Hastinapur. He became well versed in the subject just as he desired. It's very important. Viduras Tirtha Yatrayam Maitreya Atmanogati. He understood what is Atmanogati, what is the destination of the soul, who are we, what we are supposed to do. Everything from Maitreya, from Maitreya Muni he learned. Maitreya Muni became the guru of Vidurji. Dhyatma Hastinapuram, after knowing everything in truth, he returned to Hastinapur. Tayavapta Vivishthita, because he was very well situated, very well versed in divine knowledge. Avapta means sufficient. He knew, nothing more remained for him to know. Like Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Yad Nyatva Neha Bhuyanya Natevam Avashishyate. After knowing Bhagavad Gita, nothing more remains to be known. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada gives history of Vidurji. Very briefly, Vidurji. He is one of the prominent figures in the history called Mahabharata. He was conceived by Srila Vyasadeva in the womb of the maid servant of Ambika, who was the mother of Maharaj Pandu. Ambika. Ambalika's son was Dhritarashtra. Vidurji is the incarnation of Yamaraj because he was cursed by Manduka Muni to become a Shudra. We have heard the story before. How many of you know the story? Because I don't want to narrate the story if most of you know the story nicely about the cursing of Vidurji, cursing of Yamarajji. Only 3 of you know? 4, 5 out of 34, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so most of you know the story. Shama Chandrika Mataji also knows. Okay. So we will not repeat the story, but you can read it. It's there in the purport. Okay. So there was this great rishi called Manduka Muni. He cursed Yamaraj. And Yamaraj had to accept 100 years human form of life on Earth planet as a Shudra. And that is the Vidur avatar. Text 2. Yavata kritavan prashnan shatta kaushar vagratah jataika bhaktir govinde tebhyas chopar ramah. After asking various questions and becoming established in the transcendental loving service of Lord Krishna, Vidurji retired from putting questions to Maitreya Muni. This is very important. So Vidurji asked many questions to Maitreya Muni. Maitreya Muni answered them properly. And after hearing the answers and after being situated, Eka Bhakti Govinde. Eka Bhakti Govinde. When Vidurji became situated in one pointed service to Lord Krishna, he stopped asking questions. Because once we know Krishna, then once a devotee approached his Gurudev, and after Bhagavatam class raised his hands and started asking question that, so now we have attained love for Krishna because we have come to the path of loving Krishna. So my question is, Guru Maharaj stopped him. He said, wait, if you have developed love for Krishna, there will be no more questions. So don't say that you have love for Krishna. Say that you want to attain love for Krishna. Vaise, prem is already there, Nitya Siddha Krishna prem, but you have not realized it. You have not realized it. Purport. Vidur retired from putting questions before Maitreya Muni when he was convinced by Sri Maitreya Rishi that the summum bonum of life, the ultimate thing in life, is to finally be situated in the transcendental loving service of Lord Shri Krishna. Because Krishna is the Vishaya Vigraha. He is the Vishaya of our prem. Krishna is, he is the Sadhya Vastu. He is the topmost attainable object. Radha and Krishna. Radha Krishna, Gatir Mama. Next paragraph. Like Vidur, an inquisitive conditioned soul must approach a bona fide spiritual master like Maitreya Muni. Prabhupada is making a very important point that if one is truly inquisitive about spiritual life, then one must accept a bona fide spiritual master, just like Vidurji accepted in the form of Maitreya Muni. Without a bona fide spiritual master, we cannot attain Krishna. One who is not seriously inclined to put questions before a spiritual master need not accommodate a show bottle spiritual master, nor should a person who may be a spiritual master for others pose to be a spiritual master if he is unable to engage his disciples ultimately in the transcendental loving service of Lord Shri Krishna, which is the verse from the fifth canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, where Maharaj Rishabdev instructs his 100 sons that one should not become a guru, one should not become a father, a mother, a ruler, a king, a guru, if one cannot deliver the subjects from repeated cycle of birth and death. Please, sorry, you have to unmute Mukta Sangha Prabhu. Go ahead.
I don't know the full one, but Pita na sasyat, Janani na sasyat, Bhratyu na sasyat,
Very nice.
Guru na sasyat. So
excellent. So very nice. So Maharaj Rishabdev says, Guru na satyat, swajana na satyat, pita na satyat, janani na satyat, devaya na satyat, na pati na satyat, namo chayetyo samupetya mrutyam. One cannot become all these personalities. Guru, you cannot become a guru. Swajana, you cannot become a family member. Pita, you cannot become a father. Janani, you cannot become a mother. Pati, you cannot become a husband. Deva, you cannot become a king, administrator, minister, politician, or a demigod. Na mochayatyo samupeta mrutyam. If you cannot save your dependents from repeated cycle of birth and death, you cannot become any of these things. Madhumati Mataji has kindly shared the verse in the chat box. Please take a look. Very important verse. Prabhupada is saying that. Nor should a person who may be a spiritual master for others pose to be a spiritual master if he is unable to engage his disciple ultimately in the loving service of Lord Shri Krishna. And also, one who is not seriously inclined to put questions before a spiritual master need not have a spiritual master. If we don't want to attain Radha and Krishna, यदि भगवत प्राप्ति नहीं करनी है, तो गुरु बना के सोंग नहीं करना है. Just for fashion. Yes, I have a guru. One should not do like that. It's a very serious thing. Text 3 and 4. The most important relationship we have in this world is the guru-disciple relationship, guru-shishya, because that is our real relationship. Text 3 and 4. Tam bandhum agatam drishtva dharmaputra sahanujah dhritrashtro yuyutsuscha sutta charadvatah pritha gandhari draupadi brahman subhadra chottara kripi anyascha jamaya pandor nyatayah sasuta striyah. When they saw Shri Vidurji return to the palace, all the inhabitants, Maharaj Yudhishthir, his younger brothers, Dhritarashtra, Satyaki, Sanjay, Kripacharya, Kunti, Gandhari, Draupadi, Subhadra, Uttara, Kripi, and many others who were wives of the Kauravas and other ladies with children, all hurried to Vidurji in great delight. It so appeared that they had regained their consciousness after a long period of time. So, when all the residents of Hastinapur, they saw Vidurji, they became very happy and they immediately approached him with great joy. It is a fact. Please listen carefully. Some people bring happiness wherever they go, like Vidurji. Wherever they go, they bring happiness. Uddhavji. So, some people bring happiness wherever they go. Some people bring happiness whenever they go. Some people bring happiness whenever they go. So, we should be in the first category. We should not be in the category. From Chaitanya Charitamrita, can you give an example? People who bring happiness whenever they go. Chaitanya Charitamrita, classic example. जब वो चले गए तो सब लोगों ने, सब भक्तों ने बोला चलो, good riddance, good he's gone. Shama Chandrika Mataji, Narhari Prabhu, you are little off, slightly off, almost there.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Jagai Madai?
Jagai Madhai, yes, because they were very sinful people. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is a mention. Narhari Prabhu, you want to take one more go at it?
No, Prabhu.
Your first name is correct.
Oh,
दूसरे रामचंद्र कौन है चैतन्य चरितामृत में? अजय गोविंद प्रभु?
Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dhanvat Pranam. This is Kirti Das Sundari Dasi. We are on the same device today. Yeah, so it's the Ramachandra Puri during Antelila when he came and criticized Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and as soon as he left, all the devotees were thankful that he left.
Yes. Madhavi, can you chant Hare Krishna? Just 1 second, chant Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna. Sorry about that. It was the hospital, so I had to take. Okay, so Ramchandra Puri, very good. Kirta Sundari Matari, thank you. It is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita Ante Leela when Ramchandra Puri finally left Jagannath Puri, all the devotees there heaved a sigh of relief. Thank God he's gone. Always criticizing devotees, always fighting with devotees, always criticizing Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu had cut down his eating into half. Come. Cut down his eating into half. And then after Ramchandra Puri left Jagannath Puri, then our Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started eating again his normal diet. So it was a big relief for all the devotees. So some people bring happiness wherever they go, like Vidurji. Some people bring happiness whenever they go, and we should try as devotees to be pleasant so that everybody feels happy when we are there. So as soon as Vidurji came, all the inhabitants of Hastinapur became very happy, and so happy that they hurried to Vidur with great delight, and it appeared, look at the words of Srila Prabhupada in the translation. It so appeared that they had regained their consciousness after a long period of time. Because itna sneha tha Vidurji se, ki after such a long gap they met Vidurji, they had such affection that they were very happy. Now, 3 ladies, 3 Matajis are described in this purport. I believe it is 3. So we will briefly look at them. These are personalities from Mahabharata, but we don't have time to see them in detail. So first personality is Shri Gandhari ji. Gandhari is the ideal chaste lady in the history of the world. There are examples of some very chaste ladies. Anasuya, Gandhari, Draupadi Devi. So these are some very Savitri, very exalted ladies who are examples of chastity. And Gandhari is one of them. So ideal chaste lady in the history of the world, Prabhupada writes. Further in the purport, Prabhupada writes in the second sentence, Gandhari was the daughter of Maharaj Subal, the king of the area called Gandhar. And Kandahar in Afghanistan is a corruption of that word, Gandhar, near Kabul. And in her unmarried state, she worshipped Lord Shiva, as was the tradition. Young girls, unmarried girls would worship our Bhole Baba so that they can get a nice husband. Gandhari satisfied Lord Shiva, and by Lord Shiva's benediction, she obtained the benediction of having 100 sons. It was her desire that she should have 100 sons. And Shankar Bhagwan, Bhole Baba, Ashutosh Bhagwan said, okay. Further down, purport, but despite all her good qualities, she had the natural frailties of a woman. Prabhupada says, she had the natural frailties of a woman. Woman ka frailty kya hota hai? What is the potential weakness of a woman? Woman's heart. Kya hota hai? Women are emotional. Men are rational. That's how the normal ghatana is of a human being. That's how Krishna has made. Women are very loving. They're more emotional, because to raise a child, keep a family, raise a family, you need to have emotions. You need to have love. And that is given to the woman by Krishna. And men are supposed to protect the women. They are supposed to solve problems. They are supposed to face the stressful elements in life. ऐसा नहीं कि हस्बैंड घर पे बैठ के टीवी देख रहा है एंड धर्मपत्नी बाहर जाके काम कर रही है और अर्थ कमा रही है. That is not the Vedic way of life. So now in the modern times, the wife may work if she has the inclination to do so. But that is to supplement the income, and that is so that they can retire early and do bhajan. But women should never be exposed to stress. The husband should take the stress. That's what they are supposed to be, more rational, problem solving. And that's how it should be. My Guru Maharaj, Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj, gave a 3-hour-long class on the life of Srila Narottam Das Thakur. He describes the Kheturi festival, the first Gaur Purnima celebration. There Maharaj describes when Sri Jahanavad Thakurani came, the eternal consort and the Shakti of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. When Sri Jahanavad Thakurani came to Kheturi, she was the most respected personality in the whole assembly. Because our Prabhutraya, Narottam, Shavananda, Srinivas, they bowed down at the feet of Jahanava Devi. And by Jahanava Devi's pratap, Panchatattva manifested in the Kirtan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, her own beloved husband Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Prabhu, Srinivas Thakur and Gadadhar Pandit, they all appeared, they danced, and then again Antardhan ho gaye, and again they disappeared. So Jahanava Devi was given the highest respect. She was the most senior devotee in the assembly. And Narottam Shamananda Srinivas offered all respects to her. But do you know what service she did in the whole Kheturi festival? Srinivas Acharya offered the first arati to the 5 deities. Narottam Das Thakur sang the first kirtan. Shamananda Pandit was engaged in deity worship. So deity worship, decoration, Shringar, Shamananda Prabhu. Srinivas Acharya, first arati. And our Narottam Das Thakur, he had specially composed different bhajans to be sung during the Kheturi festival. Brand new compositions. He was singing them. And the service of Sri Jahanava Thakurani was to cook. She was in the kitchen. So aisa nahi ki she has become the senior most respected devotee in the assembly, so she forgets her feminine qualities. It's not that they forget the feminine qualities. So whatever is our, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that what is our swadharma, we should do it. Even though there may be some imperfections, but we should not try to imitate and perform the dharma of another person. Very important Siddhanta. So she was cooking for all the devotees. When Srinivas, Narottam Das Thakur stayed back. But when Srinivas Acharya and Shamananda Prabhu were leaving Kheturi after the festival, she even packed dabbas for them for the journey, like a mother. So therefore, a woman should, in the name of modernization, in the name of women's liberation, a woman should never give up her womanly qualities of being shy, being soft-spoken, taking charge of the kitchen. Kitchen is Manjari Upasana. Kitchen is not some cheap service. Kitchen is directly Manjari Seva. Only the Manjaris cook for Radha and Krishna. And if we are cooking for our deities, we are cooking for Radha Krishna at home, It is directly Manjari Seva. Can you imagine? We are directly doing a Manjari Seva, cooking for Radha and Krishna. It's a very confidential service. So we should understand the importance and significance of these services. So man should be a man and a woman should be a woman in Krishna consciousness, in perfect Krishna consciousness. Like that. So she was, despite all good qualities, she had the natural frailties of a woman. So what is the frailty of a woman? Because woman is more emotional. She has got familial attachments. That is the weakness of a woman. For a man to take sannyas, it is seen. But for a woman to renounce family life, it is difficult because of the emotional attachment. And that is nothing wrong in that. That's how it should be. Therefore, woman is under the protection of the father, husband, brother, or son. So this is very important. But despite all her good qualities, she had the natural frailties of a woman. And what was that? She became envious of Kunti. Dekho. We also see in the example of Chitraketu Maharaj. The other wives became envious of Kritadyuti because she had the son Harshashok, only son of the king, Chitraketu. So here also Kunti became, and Kunti was pregnant, so was Gandhari, but Kunti gave birth to Yudhishthir Maharaj before Gandhari went into labor. So she got angry and she punched her womb in envy. And then Mahabharata describes the story, only a lump of flesh came out. And then Srila Vyasdev said, divide it into 100 parts, put it in the bottles of ghee, and the kids will develop. And then 100 kids were born, and her benediction that she had from Lord Shivji came true. She had 100 children, starting from Duryodhan, Dushasan, all the way, 100 sons total. And then she had one daughter also later on. So like that. Her ambition to become the mother of 100 sons was fulfilled, Prabhupada writes. Further down, Gandhari was very much affected when all her sons died in the battle of Kurukshetra. She wanted to curse Bhimsen. Why Bhimsen? Because Bhim single-handedly killed all the 100 boys, 100 men, not boys, they were men. But Srila Vyasdev checked her. Her mourning over the death of Duryodhana and Dushasan before Lord Krishna is very pitiful, and Lord Krishna pacified her with transcendental messages. She was pacified by Srila Vyasadeva when he showed her dead sons, then promoted to the heavenly kingdom. Duryodhan kidhar gaye? Swarg gaye. Dushasan kidhar gaye? Swarg gaye. We have to understand these things. Mahabharata describes everybody who died on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, they got Sadgati because Krishna was there. So she was pacified when Srila Vyasdev gave her darshan that look, all your 100 sons have got a higher destination. Don't be sad. Ultimately, Gandhari died along with her husband Dhritarashtra in the jungles of the Himalayas near Gangotri. She burnt in a forest fire. Maharaj Yudhishthir performed the death ceremony of Dhritarashtra and Gandhari. Then we see Srimati Kunti Maharani, Pritha. Kunti Maharani is the daughter of Maharaj Shurasen, and she is the sister of Vasudev Maharaj, who is Krishna's father. Later, Pritha was adopted by Maharaj Kunti Bhoj, and hence her name became Kunti. She is the incarnation of the Yasha potency, the success potency of Krishna. So Krishna's different potencies, they appear for Leela Sahaya, to assist in Krishna's Leela. Then many details are given about Prithaji, about Kunti Maharani, but in the interest of time, we will skip that. Kunti Devi went to the forest. Now this is important, please pay attention. Somebody had asked me this once. Kunti Maharani went to the forest with Gandhari and Dhritarashtra for severe penance. She used to take meals after only 30 days. Every 30 days she used to eat. Kunti Maharani became such a big tapaswini. And she finally sat down in profound meditation and later burned to ashes in the forest fire. Kunti Devi also met the same end as Gandhari. But destination is different. Because you see, Kunti is a Nitya Siddha. She is an incarnation of Krishna's own Shakti. Then finally, we have two more Matajis. We have Draupadi and Subhadra. Shri Draupadi Devi. the most chaste daughter of Maharaj Drupad, and partly an incarnation of goddess Shachi, the wife of Indra. Indradev, he has his wife called Shachi Devi. And this Shachi Devi incarnated partially as Draupadi Devi. And Draupadi Devi also is an incarnation, partial incarnation of Lakshmi Devi. I have said this many times. This is mentioned in Mahabharata. Maharaj Drupad performed a great sacrifice under the superintendence of the sage Yaja. This story also I have told previously, at least 2-3 times. Yaja and I think his brother's name was Upayaja. How both of them were approached. Anybody who does, how many of you know that story? It's a very instructive story about eating Krishna Prasad. Shama Chandrika Mataji knows. Anybody else knows? Okay, so then listen, this is a very important story, please. In Mahabharata, it is mentioned that we know the history, how Drupad and Dronacharya went to the same Gurukul. And in their friendship, one day they were sitting, just gazing at the stars, arm in arm. And they were talking about their future plans. So Dronacharya said, I don't know what I will do. I come from a very poor family, Brahman family. I don't know what I will do. Drupad said, well, I am the prince. And after graduating from the Gurukul, I am going to become the king. But don't worry, we are best friends. You come and meet me after you graduate, and I will share half my kingdom with you. So you don't have to worry about money. I will solve that problem for you because we are friends. One day he just told like that to Dronacharya. And then when they both graduated, sure enough, Drupad became Drupad Maharaj, and Dronacharya remained a very poor Brahman. And we know the story of Ashwathama. Once he was playing with kids, the mother of the kid came and gave milk to her children to drink in a big earthen pot, and they were drinking nicely, a cow's milk. And he was looking hungrily because he came from a very poor family. He was hungry, starving. So the friend's mother gave some milk to, what was his name? Ashwathama also. Ashwathama drank, and he had never tasted something so nectarian. Milk, best drink. He came running home and told his mother, creepy, that Mata, I want to drink milk. Today I had a taste of milk. I want to drink milk. I want to drink milk. So they had no milk. So then what to do? So she took some flour, wheat flour, atta, usko pani mein milaya, and it became a little whitish in color. And she said, this is the milk that we have. It will not taste like that milk, but this is the only milk that we can afford. Please be satisfied with this milk. And Dronacharya was sitting and watching that my son, he is growing and he needs nutrition, and we cannot even afford milk for him. He remembered his friend's promise. He said, let me go to Drupad Maharaj. He went to the court of Drupad Maharaj. Drupad Maharaj refused to recognize him also. Who are you? I don't know. So I have relationships only with kings. You look like a God-forsaken pauper. I don't know who you are. Said, you promised me half kingdom. We were friends in Gurukul. I don't remember any promise. Go. Insulted Dronacharya. Dejected, he was coming back. The Pandavas were playing. Their ball fell in the well. They were struggling to get it. He shot arrows one after the other, made a string of arrows. Got that ball out and gave. Arjun went running to Bhishma Dev, said he met a sadhu Brahman. He was so skilled at Dhanurvidya. He shot arrows one after the other, tail, made a big rod of arrows, got the ball out. Bhishma Dev said, this cannot be ordinary archer. Let's go and call him. Who are you? I am a Brahman, Dronacharya. Will you teach Dhanurvidya to my children? So he became the teacher for all the 105 Kauravas, 5 Pandavas, and 100 sons of Dhritarashtra Maharaj. And then he was given remuneration. He was given a royal place to stay in Hastinapur, and even became one of the ministers and advisors. That was the story of Dronacharya. Why did I tell this story? Drupad Maharaj. So Maharaj Drupad, so what happened? When he became the teacher of all the 105 royal Rajkumars, when they graduated, Arjun was, we saw previously, Arjun was the best student. He was Gudakesh, did not even sleep at night. Whatever Dronacharya ji taught in the daytime. Even at night, Arjun would sincerely practice. He was talented, he was intelligent, well-behaved, and sincere. He had all the good qualities of a disciple. Dronacharya ji gave his heart to Arjun. He said, I will make you the best archer in the whole world. You are my best student. So he gave full merciful empowerment to Arjun. They all graduated. Arjun came top of the class by piercing the eye of the bird, wooden bird, not a real bird, wooden bird. And then they asked Gurudev, what Guru Dakshina can we get for you? And Dronacharya, now is the payback time. He insulted me. Go to the kingdom of Drupad and capture him and bring him to me. Duryodhan was so egoistic. He said, Arjun, you wait. Pandavas, you wait. We 100 brothers will go and do it. So Duryodhan went with his army, Hastinapur army. They went and they fought against Drupad Maharaj. But Drupad Maharaj was very powerful. Very powerful. And he had a son like Drishtadumna. No, sorry. Drupad Maharaj was very powerful. He didn't have a child that time. But he was very powerful. And his army was very powerful. The army was as powerful as the Kaurava army, Hastinapur army. And they actually defeated Duryodhan. The story is there in Mahabharata. And when Duryodhan was being defeated, he came back empty-handed. He said, Drupad Maharaj defeated me. Then Dronacharya said, Arjun, you go alone now. So whole Kaurava army and the 100 brothers got defeated, came back. Now Dronacharya said, Arjun, you go alone now. So Arjun goes alone and he challenges Drupad Maharaj with his army and defeats the army, defeats Drupad Maharaj, ties him up like a slave, captures him and throws him at the feet of his Gurudev Dronacharya. And Drupad is like an animal captured by Arjun alone, single-handedly. And although Drupad is defeated by Arjun, seeing the chivalry, seeing the handsomeness, the power, the might, the archery, the skills, the talent, and the Sheela, the good character of Arjun, Drupad is very impressed and a desire develops in his heart. If I had a daughter, I would have given Arjun. Damad ho to aisa. Such a qualified young man he is. So he was defeated. And Arjun told his Gurudev Dronacharya, not 50%, but 100% of his kingdom is yours, Gurudev, now. Dronacharya says, okay, 100% of the kingdom is mine. But Drupad, chalo, I give you 100% kingdom back. Tu bhi kya yaad karega? Ja, aish kar. So he sends Drupad back. And Drupad is fuming with anger. Such an insult. I was captured like an animal, thrown at the feet of Dronacharya. And he let me go. He should have killed me. But he didn't kill me. He let me go. Such a bad insult. Dishonor is worse than death. Now listen carefully, mate. There's a reason why I'm telling you all this story. I know many of you know this story. 99% of you know this story. But why I'm telling you? Very important Siddhanta is here. So Drupad Maharaj, thoroughly insulted, comes back. One lesson is we should not insult people. You see, wherever in the Shastra there has been an insult, there is a backfire. Ashwathama was insulted. Jarasandha was insulted. Both came back very bad. Jarasandha became the cause of the death of Abhimanyu. Parikshit Maharaj lost his father because of Jarasandha. He did not let the 4 brothers come inside the Chakravyuha. And poor Abhimanyu got killed because of Jayadratha. Jayadratha was, his hair was, mustache was half cut, hair was cut in different places. He was insulted. We should not insult. It's a Siddhanta. Duryodhan fell in that water and everybody laughed. And the result was the Dyuta Krida, the gambling game, where Yudhishthira Maharaj lost everything. Similarly, when this fellow was insulted, Ashwathama, he released the Brahmastra. Such a catastrophe it was. So we should not insult. We should not humiliate. Whatever we have to do, we should do it in a dignified way. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to defeat all the scholars, but he never did it in a humiliating way. Always in a very sweet way. Those who were defeated, they would also become devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Look at Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, look at Prakashananda Saraswati. Everybody, they became devotees. The Pathans, the Buddhists, they all became devotees. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela describes. So we should try to be like that. We should try to be sweet. Dhira dhira jana priya priya karo nirmatsaro pujito. That should be our attitude. So anyway, Drupad Maharaj was like a snake who had been trampled upon. What does a snake do when a snake is trampled upon? Dasta hai. So Drupad Maharaj tried to find a Brahman. He was a Kshatriya. He tried to find a Brahman who will perform a yajna, as a result of which yajna, such a Kshatriya boy will be born who will kill the Brahman Dronacharya. With this request, whichever Brahman priest Drupad Maharaj approached, what was the answer? We will not do it. Which Brahman will agree to perform a yajna, which is going to be the cause of Brahma Hatya? Which Brahman will perform a yajna because of which a Brahman like Dronacharya, who is the son of Brihaspati, will be killed? Nobody wants to do such a yajna. All the Brahmanas, all the Purohits said no, 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 no. Jao, Drupad, tumhara dimag kharab ho gaya hai. Your intelligence is polluted. Nobody will do this yajna. Finally, he went to this one particular Brahman boy. His name was Upayaja. He said, will you do this yajna? He said, I will not do, but my brother will definitely do. Your brother will definitely. How you can be so sure? Because all the Brahmanas have said no. No. This Yaja will definitely. So I may have some details wrong because I have read Mahabharata many years ago. But story is like this in Mahabharata. So he says, my brother will definitely do. So how you can be so sure? So because once we were going through the forest and एक वृक्ष से एक फल नीचे गिरा और मेरे भाई ने उसे तुरंत उठा के पा लिया. भूख लगी थी. He ate it. He did not wash it. He did not offer it to Sri Hari. He ate it without offering. And because he once ate a fruit without offering, his buddhi must be so polluted. This is Dwapar Yuga. Look at the purity of the people. One fruit, once he ate without washing, without offering it to Sri Hari, itni mati bigad gayi hogi ki he will be the only Brahman in Dwapar Yuga who will be willing to perform such a sinful yajna. Ask him, he will say yes. Sure enough, Drupad Maharaj went and Yaja said, yes, I will do it. Because mati bhrasht ho gayi thi. His intelligence was polluted because of eating non-prasad. Yajna shishtashina santo mucchante sarva kil vishay bhunjate tetva agham papa yah pachanti atma karanat. Nahi kabhi. We should always eat only Krishna prasad. So, one devotee was asking me, initiated devotee, can I go to this vegan restaurant and eat a cheesecake? Because ghar pe cheesecake nahi milti hai. I said, don't eat. You are initiated. Don't eat in a vegan restaurant. It may be vegan. सामने से एकदम चकमक चकमक लगता है, सब बड़ा nice showroom and अच्छे से display करते हैं colorful cheesecakes. But who is cooking it inside? They are meat eaters. They are not vegans. Even if they are vegans, they are not devotees. They are having illicit sex. They may be intoxicating. They may be gambling. Why you want to eat food cooked by them? Their karma, their consciousness is going to come to you. And you want to eat such non-prasad. So don't do that. We don't know what else they are doing in that kitchen. So don't eat. We should not eat restaurant food. Vrindavan is okay, because in Vrindavan everybody is a devotee. And Vrindavan also you should eat in selective places. So like that. So this Yaja, he performed a yajna. Prabhupada writes, Maharaj Drupad performed a great sacrifice under the superintendence of sage Yaja. Yaja and his brother Upayaja, I think his name was. By his first offering, Drishtadumna was born, a great Kshatriya. And by second offering, Draupadi Devi was born. Further down, Prabhupada writes, Maharaj Yudhishthir begot a son named Pratibindh from Draupadi. Bhimsen from Draupadi got Suta Some. Arjun got Shruta Kirti, we saw last time. Nakul got Satanika. And Sahadev got Shruta Kam. So Draupadi Devi was as qualified as Kunti Devi. Very beautiful. During her birth, when Draupadi Devi was born in that yajna, Draupadi Devi was not born from some prakritic father and mother. Draupadi Devi appeared from the fire, from the yajna. She was a divine personality. When Draupadi Devi appeared, there was a Akashvani, Aero message, Prabhupada says, Akashvani, that she should be called Krishna. Now different acharyas have given different meanings. One meaning is from her birth, she used to chant Krishna, 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 Krishna. So one who belongs to Krishna, she is called Krishna. So her name was Krishna. Another reason is she had a dark complexion like Krishna. So she was called, therefore many times Draupadi Devi is considered to be sister of Krishna. So she was called Krishna. Prabhupada writes in the purport. Akashvani happened that this girl should be called Krishna. One of the names of Srimati Radharani is also in Radha Sahasranam. One of the names of Srimati Radharani is also Krishna. So Krishna and Krishna. Sometimes in Kirtan people say Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So that's okay, because Murkho vadati Vishnaye, Dhira vadati Vishnave, Ubhayovedu samam punyam, Bhavagrahi Janardana. Ubhayovedu samam punyam. Both get same punya, no problem. Krishna is Bhavagrahi, he accepts whether we say Krishna, whether we say Krishna, whether we say Krishna. Krishna is accepting because he knows we are calling him. But even from the grammar point of view, Krishna is Radharani's name. So it's very good. So this message was there that Draupadi Devi should be called Krishna. The same message also declared that she was born to be the cause of the death of many Kshatriyas. She would be the death of many. It was predicted. Akashvani Vithi. By the dint of her blessings from Lord Shankara, she was awarded 5 husbands equally qualified. Yes. Shankar Bhagwan Bhole Baba is very easily praised. She did tapasya in the previous life, it is said, Draupadi Devi. When Shivji appeared, she said, I want a very qualified husband. She thought Shivji did not hear her. I want a very qualified husband. I want a very qualified husband. I want a very qualified. I want a very qualified husband. 5 times she said like that. And Shivji said, Arey bhaiya, main pehle baar hi suna tha. But now you said 5 times, so you'll get 5 husbands. So she got 5 husbands. Like that. Last paragraph, last sentence. At the last stage, how did Draupadi Devi disappear? At the last stage, read carefully. Prabhupada is writing, Draupadi Devi accompanied her husband Yudhishthir and other husbands, all her 5 husbands, to the Himalayas. And she fell on the way. The cause of her falling was explained by Yudhishthir. Anybody knows what was the cause? Mahabharata explains this very nicely. Yes, Tulsi Gopi Mataji.
I mean, as far as I remember, many years ago, I read that because she was not equally disposed in her mind towards all 5, she had one husband who was favorite.
Arjun, yes.
Arjun, because he won her and the others she had to marry as a result of the...
Yes, very good, very good. So Yudhishthira Maharaj explained it like that. But then see what Prabhupada says. The cause of Draupadi's falling was explained by Yudhishthir. But when Yudhishthir entered the heavenly planet, he saw Draupadi gloriously present there as the goddess of fortune in the heavenly planet. And Mahabharata describes that she was an Amsha of Shri, Lakshmi Devi. So these are all lessons to learn. Draupadi Devi not observing Purushottam Vrat in her previous life. Padma Puran describes. Draupadi Devi saying 5 times, I want a nice husband, I want a qualified husband. Draupadi Devi apparently showing some favoritism towards Arjun. So all this is for Loka Shiksha, to teach the general population. But in terms of Tattva Siddhanta, we understand that Draupadi Devi was completely faultless. So was Bhishma Dev, completely faultless. So like that, she was gloriously present as Shri, goddess of fortune. Next is Subhadra, daughter of Vasudeva and sister of Lord Shri Krishna. She is present in Jagannath Puri. Prabhupada says, Jagannath Baladev, Subhadra Devi. And temple is still visited by thousands of pilgrims every single day. This temple is in, look at Srila Prabhupada. This is beautiful, beautiful, simply beautiful. Listen carefully every word. Jagannath Puri temple is in remembrance of Lord Krishna's visit at Kurukshetra during an occasion of solar eclipse and Krishna's subsequent meeting with the residents of Vrindavan. There is no connection here with Vrindavan, but in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is remembering Vrindavan because one remembers where the heart is. Prabhupada said, Vrindavan is my home. So listen carefully. Subsequent meeting of Krishna with the residents of Vrindavan and Kurukshetra. The meeting of Radha and Krishna during this occasion of solar eclipse is a very pathetic story. And Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the ecstasy of Srimati Radharani, always pined for Lord Shri Krishna at Jagannath Puri. Kaisa likhe hai Prabhupada ji? So beautiful this is. So this is the Jagannath Tattva and Jagannath Puri Dham and Mahaprabhu's bhav. Remember, Jagannath ji is Dwarkadhish Krishna in separation from Shri Vrindavan Dham. Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj writes this. Mathura meets Vrindavan. And Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radharani, Vrishabhanu Nandini Radharani, who is in separation from Rajendra Nandan Krishna. So Jagannath is Dwarkadhish Krishna, feeling separation. He wants to go back to Vrindavan, go back home to Vrindavan. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in the mood of Radharani, who is feeling separation from her Rajendra Nandan Krishna, who has gone to Dwarka. And they both meet face to face in Jagannath Puri. Jagannath meets Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And that is Ante Leela of Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So beautiful. Text 5. 4 minutes are there. Pratyugjagmu praharshena pranam tanva ivagatam abhisangamya vidhivat parishwan gabhivadanaihi. With great delight, they all approached Vidurji as if life returned to their bodies. They exchanged obeisances and welcomed each other with embraces. Younger people did pranam to Vidurji. Same age, elders, they embraced. Dhritarashtra must have embraced. Yudhishthira Maharaj must have offered obeisances to Vidurji. So, depending on the relationship, depending on the sambandha, they welcomed Vidurji. But the bottom line was praharshena. Praharshena. They all became very happy to see Vidurji. Because a pure devotee always brings happiness wherever they go. Text 6. Mumuchu prema bhashpaugam virahot kanthya kataraha rajatam arhaya chakre kritasana parigraham. Due to anxieties and long separation, they all cried out of affection. King Yudhishthir then arranged to offer sitting accommodations and a reception. They all embraced, they cried out of affection, and finally King Yudhishthir arranged for a proper sitting accommodation for Vidurji. Text 7. Tam bhuktavantam vishrantam asinam sukhamasane prashrayavanato raja prahatesham sashrunvatam. Very important. After Vidur ate sumptuously, listen carefully please. After Vidur ate sumptuously, first he came, he was given a nice place to sit, he was welcomed, embraced, sweet words, given nice prasad. After he had eaten, tam bhuktavantam, bhuktavantam. After he was fed nicely, vishrantam, he took sufficient rest. He was then comfortably seated. Asinam. Asan deke unhe achhe se bithaya. Comfortably seated. Then King Yudhishthir began to speak to Vidurji, and all who were present there also listened. So pehle welcome kiya, meethe meethe shabdon se. He was welcomed with sweet words, he was embraced, he was offered obeisances, he was given a comfortable place to sit. Then go, snan kar kijiye, take your bath, take some rest. Then you come, you again sit nicely. He was fed nicely, and then he was asked questions. He was asked questions. And others also, they sat down to hear what happens. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, King Yudhishthira was expert in reception also. Devotee is expert. Vidur was well received, Prabhupada writes. Exchange of embraces, obeisances, bathing, arrangement for sumptuous dinner were made. He was given sufficient rest. After finishing his rest, ऐसा नहीं कि जैसे आए सभा में, as soon as Vidurji entered, अरे क्या update क्या है, क्या हुआ, किसको मिले, क्या हुआ, how did you spend the time? ऐसा नहीं. थोड़ा control, self control. Yes, we have questions. We are having so many questions in our mind. We have to control, self control. That is a Vaishnava culture. First serve nicely, then you ask questions. After finishing his rest, he was offered comfortable place to sit, and then the king began to talk about all the happenings, both family and otherwise. That is the proper way to receive a beloved friend or even an enemy. Prabhupada says, according to the Indian moral codes means according to the Niti Shastra, according to the Vedic culture, even an enemy received at home should be so well received that he will not feel any fearful situation. When Arjun went to ask those 5 arrows from Duryodhan that Bhishma Dev had given, Duryodhan gave. So nicely he received Arjun. That was the Vedic culture. Prabhupada says. So how much nicely we should receive Vaishnavas and friends. Text 8. 2 more minutes. Yudhishthira uvacha api smaratha yo yushmat prakshas chhaya samedhitan vipad ganad vishagnader mochitayat samatrakaha. Maharaj Yudhishthira said, "Oh my uncle Vidurji, do you remember how you always protected us along with our mother from all sorts of calamities? Your partiality, like the wings of a bird, always saved us from poisoning and arson." Vidurji took Pandavas under his wings, under his protection, always protected them from poisoning. When Duryodhana used to mix poison, Vidur would warn Bhim and others, Yudhishthira Maharaj, there is poison, don't eat. Arson, that Prabhupada describes. Purport. Due to Pandu's death, Maharaj Pandu's at an early age, his minor children, the Pandavas, and widow, Kunti, they were object of special care by all the elderly members of the family, especially Bhishma Dev and Vidurji, Mahatma Vidurji. This is very important. Whenever we go through some calamity in life, what happens is, the good thing that happens is, we become the recipient of some special favor from the advanced devotees. So daya aati hai. Vaishnav is para dukha dukhi. Hamara dukh dekh ke daya karte. So dukhi ko dekhkar Mahaprabhu ne sukhi bana diya. Mahaprakash Leela mein. He always chastised, Vidur always chastised Duryodhan further down in the purport. Always chastised Duryodhan from his intriguing policy against his cousins Pandavas. Vidur always criticized his elder brother Dhritarashtra for his policy of encouragement to his sons. And at the same time, he was always alert in giving special protection to the Pandavas. So 3 things Vidurji did. He always chastised Duryodhan. He criticized the unfair policies of his brother, Maharaj Dhritarashtra, and he protected Yudhishthira Maharaj and his brothers. 3 things Vidurji did all his life. Next paragraph, next page. Before the battle of Kurukshetra, Dhritarashtra Maharaj's policy was peaceful annihilation of his nephews. Quietly, he wanted to kill the Pandavas. And therefore, he ordered Purochan to build a house at Varanavat. And when the building was finished, Dhritarashtra desired that his brother's family live there for some time. They said, 1 full year we are going to celebrate Mahashivratri. Go and stay there. We have built a special palace for you. But the plan was to do arson, to burn them to death at Varanavat. People do such sinful things. We also knew one lady, she was a divorcee. She had divorced and she had no children of her own. And all her life she worked and she put all her money in the bank, saving for her old age. And when she finally retired, she retired because she had only one relative, her nephew. And nephew said, I'll take care of you now. You come now, you have become old. You just retire. You stay in the village and you have savings. You just stay with us. I'll take care of you. And when you die, you can leave all your remaining savings in my name. So she bichari wrote a will. After I die, all my savings. And all her life she worked very hard and she had maybe 1 lakh, even less, 80,000, something like that in the bank. So this nephew took her to the village and burnt her at night. Made her sleep in the farm, in some small hut, and रात को आग लगा दी, जला के मार दिया, और उसके पूरे 80,000 ले लिए. ऐसे करते हैं लोग. So Dhritarashtra also was like that. He allowed Duryodhan to do that. So they wanted to. So before the battle of Kurukshetra, Dhritarashtra's policy was peaceful annihilation of the nephews. Therefore, he ordered Purochan to build a house at Varanavat. And when the building was finished, Dhritarashtra desired that Yudhishthira should go and live there with Kunti and his brother, and all 4 brothers. This house was built. There was a flammable material. ये होता ना अपन आरती में use करते ना camphor. How flammable it is. All the walls were packed with camphor. So it smelled nice, but it was very flammable. And the paint that was used, it was soaked in ghee. पूरा घर का painting was ghee. Ghee था उसमें मिला हुआ. So it is flammable. And the whole house was made of wood. So it just was waiting to go up in flames. And we know the story from Mahabharata. When the Pandavas were going to Varanavat, रथ में बैठकर जा रहे थे बेचारे अपने माता के साथ, कुंती के साथ. In the presence of all the family members, Duryodhan was there, Dhritarashtra was there, Dushasana was there. Vidurji said that beware of a weapon that is not made of steel or any other material element. It can be more dangerous to kill an enemy. But one who knows what this weapon is never killed. Fire. Fire is not made of steel or arrows or spear, but it is very dangerous. And this Vidurji said not in the Sanskrit language, but in the local tribal language, which only Yudhishthira understood. Duryodhan didn't understand, Dhritarashtra didn't understand, Dushasana didn't understand, Arjun didn't understand, Nakul, Sahadev, Bhim, Kunti, nobody understood. Yudhishthira was very wise. He used to go and spend time with the tribals, speak their language. He was a very loving king, Yudhishthira Maharaj. So Vidur knew that Yudhishthira knows this tribal language. So he spoke in the tribal language, beware of the weapon that has no sharp edge, that has no pointed tip, but it can destroy the enemy very quickly. But those who go underground are not destroyed by this weapon. Yudhishthira Maharaj understood he's talking about fire. Fire is that weapon. So when they were going, Kunti Maharani asked, what was Vidurji saying? Yudhishthira Maharaj said, I understood, I will explain to you. He told Bhim, make a tunnel. As soon as they went to that house, he said, make a secret tunnel. One day we have to escape from here. And then Dhritarashtra sent that tribal lady with her 5 sons to set the house on fire at night. And they were sleeping in the veranda. Yudhishthira Maharaj said, this is the night. They are going to burn us. Before they set fire, let us set fire and escape. So Bhim ने ऐसा कुंती महारानी को एक हाथ में, चारों भाइयों को दूसरे हाथ में सब बिठा के टनल से निकल गए आग लगा के. So morning they found 6 dead bodies. They thought it is Kunti and the Pandavas. Actually it was that tribal lady. वो दारू पी के उधर वरांडे में सो गए, शराब पी के, अल्कोहल पी के. बोले रात को उठेंगे आग लगा देंगे. तो नशे में जल गए. Hare Krishna. So Vidurji gave indications like that and saved the Pandavas and Kunti. And as soon as Vidurji has come to Hastinapur, our grateful Vaishnava, Yudhishthira Maharaj, is remembering those days. Gratitude. A Vaishnava should never forget what others have done. Prabhupada never forgot what Narendra Malik did for him. What did Narendra Malik do for Prabhupada? Raise your hand if you know. Yes, Shama Chandrika Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Narendra Malik was the one who brought our Srila Prabhupada to the first time to meet Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. The first time he met.
Very good, very good. Excellent. Excellent. I'm so happy. Excellent answer. Thank you, beta. Yes, Prabhupada never forgot. He told us the story. So like that, a devotee should never forget whatever others have done. That is called Kritadnya. Dnya means to have gyan, knowledge. And Krita means what others have done for us. Kritadnya. We should always remember what others have done for us. Okay? Hare Krishna. We'll stop here and we will continue from verse number 9. Krishna willing, next week. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granthara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Shri Vidur Mahashay ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any questions or comments? Narhari Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare.
Prabhu, can you please explain, if it's okay, I hope we are not deviating too much from the topic, but about Subhadra Devi, because I believe she was born from a fire sacrifice. Can you please explain how that happened, Prabhu? Because she's the sister of Krishna and Balram, but she was actually born from a fire sacrifice, if it's okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I have not heard that story, so I don't know. I will have to do some research. As far as I knew, she was the daughter of Vasudeva Maharaj. But I don't know about the fire sacrifice. I have never heard that story. Have you read it somewhere? Or heard?
Yes, Prabhu. I read it somewhere in Prabhupada's books only. I don't remember exactly where.
Okay, then we can search on Vedabase. If it's from Prabhupada's books, it should be on Vedabase. I have not come across that story. So maybe let me do some research about it. All of you can do some research, those who are interested, and we can discuss it next time.
Thank you,
Okay.
Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Hari Hari. Rangadevi Mataji.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna,
Mataji, go
Prabhuji,
ahead.
Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, you mentioned about Subhadra Maharani, that what was her final destination? Like you were mentioning about that she was always present there in Vaikuntha heaven as Lakshmi Devi, because she was Amsha of Lakshmi. So Subhadra Maharani, she was in Jagannath Puri. It's like
Draupadi
her last
was
destination.
Shri Lakshmi Devi.
Yes. Yes. What happened to Subhadra Maharani?
Subhadra Maharani, she is a incarnation of the Yoga Maya Shakti of Krishna. And all these personalities like Rukmini Devi, Subhadra Devi, and all the other ladies, ultimately Krishna, he took them to the spiritual world. It is described that after killing Dantavakra, Krishna came to Hastinapur, Krishna came to Vrindavan, he visited Vrindavan, and he took all the eternal associates like Subhadra Devi and Radharani and Ashtasakhis and everyone. He took them back to Golok Vrindavan after killing Dantavakra. Like that I have heard from the sadhus.
So Subhadra Maharani will be in Jagannath Puri eternally. That
So
is
in
her dham. Or
Golok Vrindavan, we commonly say
in
that
Golok Vrindavan.
in Golok Vrindavan, we commonly say there are three sections. No? There is Vrindavan, there is Navadvip, and there is Dwarka. But there is also a Nitya Jagannath Puri in the spiritual realm, where Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, Sudarshan, they are eternally present. So Jagannath Puri also is an eternal abode in the spiritual world. And yes, Subhadra Devi is eternally present there. And also in this material world, wherever the Dwarka Lila is going on, or Hastinapur Lila is going on, Subhadra Devi is there. She is the Yoga Maya Shakti, Krishna's own sister. Okay? Is that okay, Rangadevi Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Jai Srila Prabhupada. Divya Agarwal Mataji, please go ahead. Then Tulsi Kupi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I was wondering if was cousin wedding allowed in Vedas, because Subhadra and Arjun are cousins.
Yes. So Prabhupada ji, a few classes ago in the purport, Prabhupada explained that yes, in certain situations it is allowed. Not immediate, very close relatives, but cousins, it is allowed in certain circumstances. In the Vedic culture, it is allowed. Not common, but it is allowed. Okay? Tulsi Gopi Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So I was wondering, so how come the Kauravas went to heavenly planets when they were like doing such bad, like they were the villains of the story?
Right. Where did Putana go?
To have spiritual world.
Yeah, so did Aghasur, so did Bakasur.
Yeah, but they were killed by Krishna himself, so I understand that. But the Kauravas were killed by Bhima, right? So
And Bhima was whose instrument?
Krishna's.
Who gave idea to Bhim to hit Duryodhan on the hip?
Krishna.
Nimittamatara bhava savyasachin. Arjun, Bhim, they were all instruments in the hands of Krishna. And they practically died in the presence of Krishna at Dharmakshetra, Kurukshetra. And more than that, Tarini Radha, on a deeper level, think about it. If there was no Duryodhan, how would we know the glory of Draupadi Devi? If there was no Duryodhan, how would we know the glory of Arjun and Yudhishthir and Bhim? If there was no Duryodhan, how would we know the glory of Bhakti? Isn't it? It was Duryodhan who sent Durvasa Muni. And Draupadi Devi called out, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. Durvasaso Vakyam Upetta Krishna, Sacha Bravit Kanana Vasini. Anta Pravishta Manasa Juhava, Govinda Damodara. And Krishna came there, said, give me food, I'm hungry. Took one shark from the Akshaya Patra, became satisfied. And the whole world is glorifying Yudhishthir Maharaj's wife, Draupadi Devi. But who sent? It is Duryodhan. So Duryodhan was playing a role. Like you said, he was in the role of a villain. He was playing the role of a villain. And it is said that Duryodhan is incarnation of Kali. But Kali also is working under Krishna's direction only. Kali says to Maharaj Parikshit that Krishna has given this age to me. So you have to give me some place where I can stay. In your kingdom, there is no illicit sex, no intoxication, no meat eating, no gambling. So I have practically nowhere to stay. But Krishna ne mere liye vidhan banaya hai. Krishna has made arrangement for me that I have to stay in this age of Kali. So give me a place. Okay, you stay in gold also. Like that. So then ultimately Krishna, all these characters, Karna, Duryodhan, they were assisting Krishna in Krishna's Leela. Without that, Krishna would not have any fun. Who will he fight against? Who will challenge Krishna? So they were all like Hiranyakashipu also went back to Godhead. Isn't it? He's Jai Vijay. So Duryodhan also. And what to speak of Duryodhan? Everybody, because they died in Kurukshetra war. They died in the presence of Krishna. They died at the hands of a pure devotee like Bhim. So that's why they went back to Godhead. And as devotees, Tarini, we should never think why this person went back to God. We should think, wow, this person also went back to God. We should feel very happy. Because a devotee wants everyone to go back to Godhead, isn't it? We should always feel very happy. Krishna is so great. Krishna is so wonderful. He took even Duryodhan back to Godhead. So Duryodhan went back to Godhead. Putana came to kill Krishna. She went to the spiritual world. So if you are chanting Hare Krishna, what will happen to you? You should have full confidence that my Krishna, my Radharani, my Nitai Gauranga, they will give me full mercy because I am chanting as a devotee. I am serving them. I am offering them fruits. Putana offered poison. So what will happen if you offer fruits to your Nitai Gauranga? They will become so happy. Your life will become perfect. So we should happily engage in devotional service, knowing that Krishna is so merciful. Kimva dayalu sharanam vrajema. Where can you find such a Lord who is worth taking shelter of, like Krishna? Aho bhakyam stana kalakutam. She came and gave kalakut poison to Krishna, but still Krishna, Dhatri, made her the mother in the spiritual world. Our Krishna is so very merciful. So with confidence, with great joy, we should take shelter of Krishna. Anukullena Krishna, in a favorable way. Then our life is perfect. Okay? Extremely merciful Krishna is. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Narharidev Prabhu, you have one more thing to say?
Yes, Prabhu. One more question. Prabhu, in this chapter, here when the question about Draupadi and Maharaj Yudhishthir is coming, here Maharaj Prabhupada explains that Maharaj Yudhishthir went to the heavenly planet and he saw Draupadi. Prabhu, in this same canto, like a few chapters later, it is also described that the Pandavas, like Maharaj Yudhishthir, he attained the spiritual world. Prabhu, how to understand this apparent contradiction? Like, obviously, both should be correct, but how to understand? Can you please help, Prabhu?
So, many times in our Shastra, the spiritual world is referred to as Swarga. Adya me safalam taptam. What is that verse? Adya me safalam taptam. Swarga chaiva bhavishyati tvai deva vare Rama pujita purusharashabha. Shabriji, this is a verse from Valmiki Ramayana. Shri Shabriji, she speaks this verse just before giving up her body at the ashram of Matanga Rishi. After she takes Ram and Lakshman around the ashram, feeds them and everything, she says, Adya me safalam taptam. All my life I have been doing tapasya, waiting for both of you, not eating anything, cleaning the road, making kusha asan for you, plucking fruits for you, fetching water for you from Pampasaror. Every day waiting. Years and years went by. I have been doing this tapasya. But today you have come, my tapasya has become successful. Adya me safalam taptam. Swarga chaiva bhavishyati. I am going to Swarga. In the future, very, very near future, I am going to the Swarga lok. So our acharyas explain that what Valmiki Muni is saying and Shabriji is saying here. Here Swarga refers to spiritual world. Shabri went to spiritual world. She gave up her body looking at Ram. Tvai devavara Rama. Oh Ram, you are devavara. You are the best of all the devatas. Nobody recognized Lord Ramchandra as Bhagwan because he was doing Naravat Leela, human-like Leela. But Shabri recognized. She said, Tvai devavare Ram. Pujita Purusharshava. Oh, best among the, oh Purushottam. Purusharshava means Purushottam. Hey Purushottam Ram, I worship you. And looking at Lord Ram reciting this verse, Shabriji left her body, gave up her body. So naturally she went to Ayodhya Dham. But what is the word used? Swarga. So many times in Shastra, the word Swarga is used synonymously with the spiritual world. And there is no doubt that Yudhishthira Maharaj, they are always with Krishna. Whether they go to the heavenly planet, if they go to the heavenly planet, they go there to preach. Arjun also went to the heavenly planet and he purified so many people there. And again, when Krishna is performing Leela in some other Brahmanda, the Pandavas, they are always there. When Lord Krishna came as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who was Yudhishthira Maharaj? Anybody knows? Who was put on the Changa? Gopinath Patnaik. All the 5 sons of Bhavananda Rai, they were the Pancha Pandav. Ramananda Rai is Arjun. Vaninath Rai, who used to bring buckets and buckets of prasad for all the associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. From Jagannath Puri temple, he used to bring prasad for all the Gaur Parshads. Vaninath Rai. He is Bhim, always dealing with prasad. So like that. Whenever Krishna is there, wherever Mahaprabhu is there, these Pandavas, they are always there doing Leela. So we should understand it in that way. Whether Yudhishthira Maharaj is seen in heaven or he is seen in spiritual world or he is seen on this earth planet, they are eternally liberated, even though they may be apparently in the Bhauma Leela. Why? Because they are always with Krishna. And anybody who is with Krishna is in the spiritual world, whether it is Prakat Leela or it is Aprakat Leela. So in this way, we should understand it. Because different Shastra explain different way. Mahabharata is mainly meant for those who are not spiritually so advanced. So words like Swarga may be used. But Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is the Amala Puran. And it tells us about all these Pandava brothers being Nitya Siddha, always with Krishna. So we should reconcile it in this way, that whether they are in the heaven, whether they are on earth, whether they are in the spiritual world, they are with Krishna always. Okay? Where are you, Prabhuji? I cannot find you. Rangadevi Mataji, you have one more question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yeah, actually, just now Prabhuji asked that question, right? Like you were mentioning, devotees are always merciful. Even people who have not performed any bhakti throughout their life, but still we want them to go back to Godhead. We pray for them. We try to give them tulsi leaves, Brajaraj and all those things. I have a question that people who are completely against, means how much we try to convince them, not convincing, but at least by looking at us and all, they don't have any faith in Krishna consciousness and they don't understand the philosophy. Even if such people, they leave their body, our treatment should be the same. If they were like, they don't believe completely in our this thing, philosophy. and they don't have much inclination, what should be our consciousness, and what should be our what we should do after they leave the body? Should we pray, and should we also try to give them all the things, or how we should take this?
Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, what does he say in this regard? He says, listen carefully, let me not wish for anything but highest good for my worst enemy. Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada says like this. What should be our consciousness? Our consciousness should be that of a sadhu. Titikshava karunaika, surida sarvadehinam, ajata shatra shanta, sadhava sadhu bhushan. Srila Prabhupada quotes this verse many times in his lectures. Titikshava karunaika, ajata shatra, surida sarvadehinam. We should be well-wishers, and we should always think that whether they are theists or atheists, whoever they are, in the ultimate analysis, they are all devotees, isn't it? Jivara Swarupa Krishna Nityada. So let them go back to God. Our attitude should be in the footsteps of Vasudeva Datta, Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. Let the sins of others come upon me, I will suffer, but let them go back to God. Prahlad Maharaj prayed like that. I am not worried about myself, but I am worried about all these people who are Krishna Vimukh. Like that. That should be our attitude. That sabka bhala ho. जो भजे उसका भी भला, जो ना भजे उसका भी भला, सबका भला हो. Let everyone get Krishna. Let everyone be happy. Sarve sukhano bhavantu. That is the attitude of a sadhu. ठीक है? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, recently 3 days back, my mother has left this world. So this thing came in my mind that वो भी उनका जो 14th day रहेगा, 13th day रहेगा. For that ना, we are planning to give Krishna book or Bhagavad Gita to the people who come. So आप कुछ suggest करोगे? Is this the good thought or anything else that you feel? Means I was thinking this way, थोड़ा उनकी आत्मा को शांति मिलेगी, ऐसे कुछ.
देखिए अभी your mother, she has already gone.
Yes.
And, she, based on her karma, she will already get another body. And if at the time of death she remembered Krishna, if she has been a devotee, then she will be with Krishna. If not, whatever her chintan was at the time of death, accordingly, based on her karma and her consciousness, she will get a body, and that body is already decided now.
Okay.
So what we should do is, we should invite devotees and we should have Harinam Sankirtan. We should keep a photo of mother, remember her, and have recitation of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam.
Okay.
One chapter Gopi Geet, 19 verses are there. And the 2 verses of the next chapter, 32nd chapter also. Where there is reunion. We should not end with Gopi Geet because it's in separation. No? We should unite Radharani with Krishna before we stop. So like that, you can have recitation of some prayers, Gajendra Moksha prayers, Bhishma Sudhi, something, whatever is close to your heart, you should have it and offer the phala to your mother. That wherever she is in the next life, let these prayers, let this recitation of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, let this Harinam Sankirtan benefit her in her further development, spiritual development. You should offer nice bhoga to Krishna, Srila Prabhupada. Offer Mahaprasad to your mother through your mind, through a photo. And you should also sumptuously feed the Vaishnavas and have more Nam Sankirtan. And of course, those who are visiting, your relatives, family members, doing Shastradhan is very good. You can give them Bhagavad Gita. You can do some Nam Sankirtan with them. Krishna book also you can give. So yes, that's all. These are all good ideas. There should be Nam Sankirtan. There should be recitation of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. And there should be distribution of Krishna Prasad. And you can also distribute Srila Prabhupada's books. And pray for your mother. So she will have very good future, very bright future. Krishna is very merciful. Krishna is very merciful. Especially Krishna is very merciful to those who are dear to his devotees. Yeme bhakta jana partha name bhaktasya te jana. Mad bhakta nam chay bhaktas te me bhaktottama mata. Your mother definitely loved you. She has an affection, attachment for you. So Krishna will give her, definitely Krishna will give her mercy. Krishna says, Aham bhakta paradhino hi aswatantra ivadvija Sadhubir grasta hridayo. Bhaktair bhakta janapriya. Bhaktair bhakta janapriya. Those who love my devotees, they are very dear to me. So definitely Krishna will give mercy to your mother. You should be happy. And happily you should continue with your bhajan and offer prayers for your mother also. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji. She was chanting rounds. She was not chanting 16 rounds, but she was chanting. And at the time when we were taking her in the cab to the hospital, she suffered a major cardiac arrest. But Prabhupada Kirtan was going on. I was also loudly chanting. She could not say Krishna, but she was in pain. But by that, when we were about to take her to the hospital, when she was stepping her right foot out of the door, she just uttered all by herself without our reminding that Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya. That were her last words.
Those
When
were
she
the
was
Haridas Thakur also. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Everything is there in this name. Shri Krishna. Shri is Radharani, Shriji. Krishna is Bhagavan Krishna. And Chaitanya, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
we tried putting some Vrajraj on her this thing when she was there in the hospital. Tried putting some Radhakund water. That's all we could do from our end. And before starting that Brahmanda Mrid Bhakti Leela, that laddu, I just kept that one small piece in her mouth. That was all I could do.
This is very nice. You have done your duty as a daughter. Very nice. Very nice. Very glorious departure. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for your time and kind advice. Prabhuji, I'll put a personal message like I have a number. If I have any doubt regarding that Gopi Gita and 32nd chapter, kindly reply, Prabhuji.
You will send it to me?
Yes, Prabhuji. I have number no in this admin group, or else I'll take it from Sharmishta Mataji. I'll put a question. You can reply to Sharmishta Mataji. I will take from her. Anyway.
You directly send me. You have my number, no?
Okay, Prabhuji. Yes, same. Yes. The number which is there in this call, same number, right, Prabhuji?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam. Thank you very much.
Dandavat Pranam.
Jai Shri Prabhupada.